So I'm going to try to save as much of your time as possible. Get through this quick. The problem with the guitar is that this P90 is set up on these high blocks of foam underneath, and you can't get it much lower than about where I have it right now. You can't adjust it down far enough to make it, to decrease the volume and help it blend with the bridge pickup. So you got to loosen your strings. You don't really have to take the pick guard off, but if you do, it's really easy because it's not tucked under the neck. So you can. It's just 7 or 8 more screws. And the nice thing about this is there's enough space under this to sneak in a Strat style single coil if you wanted to. There's plenty of room in here to do that. So loosen the strings, prop them up with a towel or something, and then remove these screws here. And then using those screws, you can apply the necessary tension to pull that pickup out of place right there. Set the screws aside. And then those little foam blocks are glued in, so you're going to want a tweezer of some sort. But if you just reach in there and give them a good tug, they release rather nicely. So this is the one I took out, and it's the original. I took the other one and just cut it in half with a hobby knife. All right, so there's my pickup. So I'm going to put one block right back here under this end, one block under this end over here. You can use your tweezers to reposition it. This way, you're going to be able to compress that foam down far enough to get this level with the pick guard, which takes it down nicely. Not only does it look nice, but it takes it down far enough to blend with the less hot, the less volumic bridge pickup. It's kind of hard to explain because the P90 is not really a hotter pickup, but because it's such a large pickup, it is louder. But it's not necessarily hotter wind-wise, resistance-wise. All right, so the other thing you're going to want to do, I had to take this additional screw right here, or drill. Gosh, it's been a long weekend. And I had to drill down into this hole a little further so that I could have enough screw depth, hole depth, and to allow the screw to compress the sponge. But I only had to go down an additional, I went a total of a ½ inch. Nowhere near going through the back of the guitar, but as it was, my screw was bottoming out, so I did have to clean out that hole a little bit, but seriously, no more than just about ¼ inch when all was said and done. All right, that's about my overall depth. A good ½ inch, maybe 5/8, but not much. All right, so you get your foam pieces back in place, and then put our screws back in place, and now we can tighten this all the way down so that it's flat with the pick guard. You can even go a little below the pick guard, but I don't think you need to. Then the other thing you want to do is back these screws out. So we're taking this down pretty far. And then a fun thing to do is play with these screw heights, because that really adds a lot of air to the tone of a humbucker and or a P90 or any pickup that has these adjustable poles. If you'll come back and do like a full turn here, a full turn here, turn and a half over here, turn and a half, or 2 turns, you play around with it, and then a turn, because this has a radius to it. You want the inner ones to be slightly taller. So I'm going to turn and a half on those. But you can play with those pole pieces as well. And it opens up the pickup, adds it gives it some air, which is kind of nice. Also, and what we end up with something that blends pretty well. And then of course you can chase down alternate pickups forever. But this, I think, you'll be really happy with. So give it a shot. Because the problem with this is that the P90 is so loud when you switch over to it. And it's rather muddy compared to, not that it's overall a bad pickup, it's just in the treble response, this is such a bright pickup and this is such a dark pickup. And with this dark pickup being so loud, it just doesn't make for a nice blend between the two. All right, so there you go. Super easy, cool mod. I'm going to button this back up, tune it, and we'll go play it some more.